Hi, this is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems, and in this video, I'm going to take you through the Power App that comes with SideKick 365 CRM. Now, the idea is that the Power App is going to be used by people in the field that are either on a tablet or on a phone, while the people in the office are going to use the web version of SideKick 365 CRM. The great thing is all the data is still stored in SharePoint, and there's no additional charge for the Power App. Because we're leveraging SharePoint lists, Microsoft gives us the ability to connect to those lists in Power App at no additional charge to what you've already paid for your Office 365 subscription. So this is a terrific value and lets you leverage your investment in Office 365 that much more. So here we are at the home page of the Power App, and you'll see I'm logged in as Alan Steiner, and I have 2 tasks and a number of opportunities. Let's compare that to the home page on the SharePoint app. It looks surprisingly familiar because, again, we're logged in here as Alan, and we're seeing the same data. It's just presented in a different format. This is the web version. This is the Power Apps version. There's additional items here that really won't fit well on this screen. We can just fit so much on a phone. But if you want to see the accounts, you just go ahead and select the account module, and it'll filter it based upon what you're allowed to see with permissions. Now, one thing you might notice is this big red star. When I select the hot up here in the filtering, it will filter out all the items that are marked as hot. And if I deselect it, it'll show me everything. Comparing the account list here in SideKick 365 CRM Mobile, let's look at what it looks like here on the SharePoint app. Again, it's going to be surprisingly similar to what we saw on the Power App. We got ABC, A Limousine, ABC, Wood Supply. Let's take a look. And there they are. Now, if I want to go in to look at ABC Lock and Key in the Power App, I just click here. And there's so much depth here, we're just going to cover some of it. But the idea here is that you have tasks, notes, documents, contacts, opportunities associated with this account. And guess what? We have the same thing here in the SharePoint app. We have the notes, we have the opportunities, the tasks, the documents. They're just outlined a little bit differently here on the web page versus the Power App. Now, the other thing that's really great is that I'm able to add or edit things here. So let's go ahead and say I'm going to add a new note to ABC Lock and Key. I will say I added this note in Power Apps. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a category of idea. I'll make it a follow-up date of the 31st. I'll send it to myself to remind me that I need to do something. And I'll say, call Lyndon. Get rid of that typo as well. And I'm going to go ahead now and save this. Now, what happens behind the scenes is that SharePoint saves this data into the list. And then our workflow comes in behind the scenes and it says, is there any permission that needs to be applied to this note? And it goes ahead and runs a workflow behind the scenes and applies the permission so that only the people supposed to see this note are allowed to see it. Now, if I refresh, let's see if it's there yet. It may take a minute or so to get there. There it is. I added this note in Power Apps. So let's see what it looks like over here in the SharePoint app. And if I refresh this page, I should see that note listed here. I add this note in Power Apps. Now let's go ahead and edit that here. Let's say I'm in the office working, and I'll say, remind Lyndon about golf outing. And I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to come back to my Power App and refresh. And if the magic is working, and it is, there it is. So what I'm showing here is that the Power App and the SharePoint app are really one and the same. It's just a different interface. Incredibly powerful because we have our tasks, our docs, our contacts, our opportunities on the road, on my phone, same data set as the office. People in the office can add things. You can add things. Everybody's working together, whether you're on the road or in the office. We've got a lot of additional features here, and I'll hit on a couple of them. If you click on the plus, you'll see the full information about this account, and the minus then will show you the tabs. If you want to see the main contact information, you just click here to see that information. Click back to see the account. If I'm in opportunities, I can select an opportunity and hit this opportunity button, and it'll do a shortcut over to that opportunity for me and show me the information about that opportunity without having to go up to the opportunity module and filter through it. And all of those informational items, the notes, the docs, the contacts, etc., are also available here. So let's take a look at this Wilson High opportunity over in the SharePoint app. So if I go here to opportunities and I hit the Wilson High, and I know that's ABC, so let me filter that based upon the ABC lock and key, and I'm going to open that guy up. And what I'm going to see is the same data that I'm viewing over in Power Apps is available here. And by the same way I did it with account, I can edit here, add here, and it'll show up over in the Power App. Now, one thing you don't see is there's a couple small differences here. Let's look at that. I don't see projects over here in the Power App. There's only so much real estate on the page. So you can get to the projects easily by selecting the Projects tab or the module here, which I'll do. And when I do that, I'm going to see all the projects that I have access to. And the same way here, I can just filter and say, let me see the hot ones. And I'm going to open that one up. And I know that's one for, let's take a look at the Puppies R Us lock instruction. Same thing here again. I'm going to see any tasks, any notes, any docs, any people. In this case, there aren't any. But I could add one here, and then that'll show up over in SideKick on the web. All this information is shared into SharePoint. Let's try that. So I'll say I added this project note in Power Apps. I'll just do the shorthand for that. And I'll make it a to-do, and I'll say I added this in Power Apps. And I'll go ahead and save that. Now it takes a minute, and remember what it's doing behind the scenes. It's saving that information into the SharePoint list running in Office 365. And then it's going through and it's saying, let me see what permissions need to be added to this. And if I refresh, I should see that note here in a minute, and there it is. So now if I go over to the projects and look in that Help Puppies R Us with Lock Instructions, and I will see that note there as well. And there it is. So I hope you see the incredible power that Power Apps is bringing to the solution set. We have the contacts. We have the accounts, the opportunities, the notes, the documents, tasks, projects. You can search on them. So let's say I wanted to see the people whose full name starts with B. Let's see if there's any in there. There they are. And if I have this capability throughout the system. And the great thing is all of this data is saving to SharePoint. So all of that capability we have in our SharePoint app is now available to you in the Power App. I hope you see what a big deal this is. Power Apps brings an incredible amount of flexibility and power to this solution. Now we have a mobile solution. Now we have a great solution for people that have tablets. And this is just the start. You can easily modify the Power App to do what you want it to do. We have just laid out the basics here, and we can modify SideKick 365 CRM to meet your needs, or you can. So I hope you found this to be an exciting demo. This is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems showing you our new Power App with SideKick 365 CRM. Drop us a line at info@skylightsystems.com if you have any questions. Thanks very much.